Adventurous kids, explore with education and learning what a wildlife is in the Everglades. I want to explore the Museum of Discovery Science. What plants do butterflies like? I want to know about Key West. Adventurous kids, learning and fun. Adventurous kids!
Today we are going to
tell you about the Pony Express. The Pony Express was a system that delivered mail on horseback between Missouri and California. The Pony Express was started by William H. Russell, William B. Waddell, and Alexander Majors. Using the Pony Express, mail could arrive in California in as few as 9 days rather than the weeks it took to arrive when sent by horse carriage, also known as horse and buggy. The fastest delivery in the history of the Pony Express was 7 days and 17 hours. It was to deliver President Honest Abraham Lincoln's inaugural address. And yes, that probably was his nickname. The service lasted for only about a year and a half in the early 1860s. It opened on April 3rd, 1860 and closed on October 24th, 1861. Nevertheless, Pony Express is well remembered in stories about the American West.
The idea of using fast horses or ponies to carry mail may have come from F.X. Aubrey, who hauled goods down the Santa Fe Trail in freight wagons. The Santa Fe Trail was an important commercial route during the mid-19th century on his trips from Missouri to Santa Fe, New Mexico. Aubrey left horses along the trail with traders and others. On his return horseback, he changed a tired horse for a fresh one. A company called Russell, Majors and Waddell decided to set up a horseback mail service from St. Joseph, Missouri to California. The route was nearly 2,000 miles long. Dang boy, that's a Pony Express on a whiskey. Along the way, there was 157 stations, one about every 10 to 15 miles. The rider carried about 15 pounds of letters in a pouch. He changed horses at every station. After 6 to 8 stations, a new rider took over. Only a pouch of mail traveled the entire distance.
The first mail pouch left St. Joseph on April 3rd, 1860. And arrived in Sacramento, California on April 13th. Pony Express lost only one load of mail, even though the riders faced outlaws, attacks by Native Americans, and rough country. The most famous Pony Express rider was William Cody, who later became known as Buffalo Bill.
The Pony Express provided an important link with the West. It did not earn enough money. It was closed down when a telegraph system was completed in October 1861. Wow, that long ago. And all the horses had galloped 616,000 miles back and forth over the trail. That's a lot of miles.
How did the Pony Express work? The Pony Express used a planned out route with a number of stations along the way. Riders would carry the mail from station to station, or from one station to another, switching to fresh horses at each station. Every 100 or so miles, the rider would be replaced. This allowed the mail to be constantly moving at a good speed. The initial cost to send a 1/2 ounce letter was $5. You know what that would be in today's world? That was a lot of money back in the 1860s. Of course, prices were lowered to $1 for a 1/2 ounce letter by the end of the Pony Express.
Riders of the Pony Express made $100 a month. Pretty good money for the time. They worked hard, riding in bad weather, rough terrain, and even in dangerous situations in order to keep the weight down that the horses had to carry. Riders had to weigh less than 125 pounds. A lot of riders were young, tough, many teenagers who were willing to face the dangers of the ride, the excitement of the job, and the money they could earn.
The route used by the Pony Express from St. Joseph, Missouri to Sacramento, California. There were 184 stations along the 1,900-mile route. It followed the Oregon Trail for a ways, and then used the Mormon Trail to Salt Lake City. The trail traveled over the Rocky Mountains, Sierra Nevada mountains, and finally to California.
One of the most famous Pony Express riders was named Bob Oslam. Bob was born in England and came across the ocean to America when he was just a boy. His family moved to Salt Lake City, and there he worked on a ranch, and as a messenger he was known for being brave and loyal and always getting the job done. Loyalty means others can trust you because you do what you say you are going to do. When Bob was 20 years old, he joined the Pony Express during one ride. He got to the station only to learn that Native Americans were in the area and he couldn't stop even though he and his horse were very tired. Bob kept on riding. Bob persevered. Perseverance is when you keep doing something even though you want to give up. Bob continued riding until he reached the next station, only to find out that it was under attack as well.
Bob didn't know what to do. He and his horse were tired and hungry. Bob knew he had to get the job done and deliver the mail, so he continued riding. Once he reached the next station, he handed his mail off and rested 9 hours. But after resting, Bob wasn't done yet. He picked up the next bag of mail, hopped on his horse, and rode back in the other direction. His 380-mile trip was the longest Pony Express ride in history. From then on, he was known as Pony Bob, and will always be remembered for his amazing ride. Later, when Pony Bob grew old and passed away, the newspaper printed Pony Bob Haslam, who knew no fear, dies in Chicago. A man once famous throughout the United States for his courage, endurance, and skill.
Whoa, horsey! Whoa!
Thanks so much for watching
This episode of Adventurous Kids.
What did you learn today?
Adventurous Kids.
Adventurous Kids!
What was the most interesting fact?
Adventurous Kids!
Adventurous Kids.
Adventurous